She's been invited here today to open this little...
Bula Vinaka, and a very good evening to you all. It gives me great pleasure to officiate at the opening of the second Construction Industry Council Trade Show. I am informed that this trade show is bigger and better than the last one, and I look forward to the continuity of this trade show for future, with more international partners joining the team. I would like to commend the CIC for hosting such an event where experts and regulators can share ideas, exchange experiences, and deliberate on issues facing the construction industry. Ladies and gentlemen, construction plays a key role in the socio-economic development of any country. It is through construction that critical infrastructure like roads, bridges, ports, and other basic amenities are made available to the people. It contributes greatly in our economic growth and one that is investment-led. According to the Bureau of Statistics, the total number of building permit applications approved in 2017 stood at 1,618 with a monetary value of $353 million. In 2018, the number increased, and it increased to 1,725 with a value of $370 million. And if you are interested in knowing where these applications were made and which is the growth area within Fiji, let me tell you, 48% of the application was received in the Western Division, 37 in the Central Division, and unfortunately, not too many in the Northern Division, but it stood at only 15%. Then I also took the statistics from Town and Country Planning, just to give you an idea. And what we have found in the first quarter of 2019, Town and Country Planning has recorded 273 applications worth around $231 million. And in the last quarter of 2018, Town and Country Planning received 430 applications with a value of $70.9 million. So the beginning of 2018 saw major developments taking place, which resulted in a higher value, whilst towards the end of 2018, more residential building application was recorded, which resulted in lower value. So ladies and gentlemen, the demand for houses have increased. And as the minister responsible for housing, I can tell you, in the last budget, there were a lot more goodies for the private sector, particularly in the housing sector. We are very determined as a government to house our people, to move them from the informal sector, and to provide them with affordable housing. And in the budget that was announced last Friday, we all heard that if any developer or any investor intends to build rental properties or, in fact, apartments with strata titles, and if 15% of those apartments within 5-story building you're able to make and sell below 300,000, you'll be given incentives. There are some concessions for that. So it seems that we are in the good time at this stage. There will be a lot more construction work that will continue as planned. And if the construction industry does well, that includes the whole sector. That means the supplier, the building material producer, as well as the technical people that you know. So whole gamut benefits from that. And the intention is to keep our construction industry going, and we would like to see more new products coming into the market. Innovation is what we would like to see, and while moving around the various booths, it was interesting to see some very new products. Like Tremco is one product that really has blown me away. Didn't know anything about that, but I've seen it, what they are trying to introduce in the market. And similarly in other booths too, there's some very innovative products that the market needs. But talking from the as a minister responsible for housing sector, we know that constructing a house takes a lot of time because we are still practicing a very traditional way of building houses. And we are now looking at innovative ways so that we can reduce the cost of houses. And not just, because cost is also associated with the time it takes to complete a house. So if we can, through technology and through innovative ways, if we can reduce the construction time, then obviously there's going to be a reduction in price. We've seen the growth in the construction industry, and it's increasing. And when the construction industry grows, then obviously there's a lot of employment opportunities. But unfortunately, again, when it comes to local workers, we have seen that more of our local workers have been recruited by companies abroad, and there is shortage of skilled workers in the country. So it's a challenge. On one hand, we would like to see construction boom. We are making all these incentives available to attract more private sector investment in that area. But then again, the skill shortage is one area that we need to address. The sudden demand and of course the shortage of skilled workers must be seen as an opportunity for the educational institutions to provide training for the workforce. This will ensure that the construction industry is able to cater for the demand of skilled workers at all times. And it's good to see FNU and other APTEC and other institutions here that partners with the construction industry hand in hand. And I'm pleased to see the chairman of the construction industry is now a member of a very high-powered FNU council. And as the chairman, he's going to do good for the construction industry because he'll be able to contribute directly in developing the skills that we require for this sector. Ladies and gentlemen, since the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Winston, there is a heightened focus on building back better. In this regard, the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism, in conjunction with the World Bank Group, is formulating the guidelines for single-story houses and schools in rural areas and villages. Unfortunately, this is what I have seen, that when it comes to houses being built in rural areas and villages, people take it very lightly, and they do not try and follow the regulations, or that they do not even bother to get the plans approved by the local authorities. And Cyclone Winston has shown that when you do that, then obviously we're heading for a major disaster in terms of houses coming down very quickly with the wind force. So it was just appropriate that we should develop a document like that and make it available to people living in rural and in the villages so that they understand the importance of building the simplest home, but these homes are of standard. In addition, the ministry has reviewed and put in place new building material standard, such as roofing sheets, and is working on the review of the reinforcement steel standards and wind loads for housing. The standards on wind loads for housing is crucial for Fiji's building and construction industry. It will guide builders, designers, and building material manufacturers in Fiji to design and construct buildings and building materials that are resilient and able to withstand Category 5 cyclones. So this standard is set to be adopted very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, the ministry will be taking the construction permit approval processes entirely online, with extensive work scheduled in the next financial year to prepare for the transition. Construction permit approval process is extremely important when you look at the ease of doing business. We have seen that unfortunately when it comes to construction permit, people spend not just months, sometimes even over a year to get the construction permit approved, particularly when it's a big development. We want to speed that up, and we can only do it through the digital platform. So this is important as it will reduce the time taken to obtain permits. As we speak, the approval agencies are working in collaboration with the Singapore Corporation Enterprise to revisit their systems and processes and redesigning the application forms. This process will help to reduce the current approval process by 20 to 30%. We have seen previously that one had to make so many copies of the application and go to so many other places to get the approval. But by having it on a digital platform, it's the best thing that can ever happen. The online platform is actually to provide the entrepreneurs a better doing business environment, making processes easier and moving towards a digital platform. We have seen previously, there always used to be confusion because when the person appeared before a local authority for the building permits, then the procedures were not very clearly stated. And the officer attending to people would simply verbally tell him or her what to do. But there was nothing in writing. So it was always, rather than being objective, it was always subjective. So next time when you go to them, they will say, no, this is not what I said. This is what I said. So now, with this digital platform, the processes are documented, which means you know it and they know it too. And no one is moving away from what is stated on the digital platform. So that will avoid any confusion that may arise. Ladies and gentlemen, let me turn to this year's theme, which is building solutions that work. The theme is pertinent as it addresses key concerns in the construction industry today. It explores means of doing work easily, quickly, and ensuring cost effectiveness and efficiency. Now, with the continuing growth and evolution of the construction industry, you will agree that the companies must stay up to date if they want to remain relevant with changing times. And a trade show like this brings that knowledge, brings the information to the construction industry. What is new in the market? What else can be done? I have been informed that apart from the 22 exhibitors, we also have contractors, consultants, designers, manufacturers, academia, and researchers present to showcase their methods and products that addresses the theme. And of course, during my inspection of the exhibition stalls, I've seen equipment and materials on display that will increase efficiency. I hope construction project planners, engineers, and implementers will incorporate these innovations in the methods and the approach to work. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to thank the organizers, CIC, and the planning committee for the arrangements, the exhibitors for innovative displays. I have been informed that 4 exhibitors are foreign-based, and I have met them as I went around the booths, and I hope to see more international exhibitors in the years to come. With those words, it gives me great pleasure to officially open the 2019 Construction Industry Council Trade Show. So, have an enjoyable evening. Vinaka Vakalevu. Dhanyawad and thank you.